Hello everyone. So myself Ramesh Masuna. Here today we are going to discuss about the memory-based questions on data science and artificial intelligence papers of GATE exam which is held today. Here when it comes to the weightage analysis, here in probability and statistics there are 4 1-mark questions and 6 2-mark questions are given. And when it comes to the linear algebra, there are 4 1-mark questions and 2 2-mark questions. And when you look for the calculus and optimization, there are 2 1-mark questions and 4 2-mark questions, and all together, so it is roughly 21 questions only from the engineering mathematics. So this time the people who are very confident about engineering mathematics are going to get a good rank in the DA paper. And these 21 questions altogether comprises nearly 35 to 37 marks from engineering mathematics. And you know that data science and artificial intelligence are the subjects which are mainly based on the mathematics. So this is the first time DA paper was conducted, and most of the questions are related to mathematics, and definitely mathematics are going to play an important role in your rank. And when it comes to the data structures, there are total of 8 questions and 4 1-mark questions and 4 2-mark questions, means totally 12 marks from the data structures. And algorithms, there are 6 questions, and databases and data warehousing. Altogether, there are 7 questions were asked, and these 7 questions comprising nearly 10 marks from the database and data warehousing. And data warehousing is added newly in the paper, and previously even in the CS paper also data warehousing was not there. From data warehousing, there is only one question was problem వచ్చిందన్న. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience due to some technical problem. So mic was like audio may not be audible. See, is it okay? Right. So overallly, the DA paper this year, and this is the first time, the paper is not too tough and not too easy. We can say it is a moderate paper, and who have more conceptual clarity on mathematics, definitely they can get a good rank in the DA paper. And in a DA paper, the totally 21 numerical answer type questions and 28 multiple choice questions and 16 multiple selection questions. And see, the equally all three types of questions are distributed, and definitely multiple selection questions are going to play an important role in your rank. So, and here I am going to continue with my subjects of databases and data warehousing. Here, according to the information that we got from the different sources of our different students, from databases and data warehousing, we got totally 6 questions. Totally we got 6 questions, and these 6 questions consisting of 3 1-mark questions and 3 2-mark questions. So altogether, so far we collected, there are 6 questions and comprising of 9 marks from the subject. And now we'll see in brief what are those questions. We didn't get the complete data related to those 6 questions, but we got an idea of those 6 questions. Here, the questions, when you look for the 1-mark questions and 2-mark questions altogether, they have given one directed acyclic graph, DAG, directed acyclic graph is given, and the graph looks something similar to this. The P, R are the nodes, and here Q, this is a DAG given, or we call it is a precedence graph. Instead of saying DAG, we can say it is a precedence graph is given, and precedence graph something looks like this. And this is a 1-mark question, and asked that which of the following options are the correct representation for the topological sort of the directed graph. They are asked about topological sort. So how do you do topological sort? So in topological sort, you can start with a vertices with in degree 0. In degree 0 vertices is P possible, and in degree 0 R is also possible. Suppose if I take P as a first vertices, and we have to remove that P along with outgoing edges. If you remove P along with outgoing edges, next possibility with vertices with in degree 0 is R. If I take R as a first possibility, next possibility is there with P, right? And after PR or RP, the only one possibility is Q, because the Q is the vertices with in degree 0. Here in the given options, there are 2 options satisfying with this order, PRQ, RPQ, these are the correct order, and the remaining 2 orders which are not correct orders. We can solve this question by performing the topological sort of the directed graph, or else we can check the options based on the graph. There are certain options are given C and D, stated that P, Q, S are given. This is one option. P, Q, S, R. It is very clear that first P, then Q, then S is okay, but where R should appear before Q, correct now? Because R should appear before Q, this is showing that the R is appearing after Q. This option is incorrect. And one more option also mentioned in similar way, R, Q, T, P it is given, R, Q, T, P something given. Here you observe the P is a vertices, and the P is a vertices should appear before Q, but not after Q, because the directed edge shows that P then Q, so that this is wrong, and the other 2 options are correct, and this question is given as multiple selection question. Okay, it is a MSQ question. This is the answer for this question is option A and option B. And one more question which is on data warehousing subject. As in our live session also I have told you, in data warehousing, if a question is possible to be asked, the question could be on data normalization. As we have discussed the data normalizations, different techniques we have seen, min-max normalization, z-score normalization, decimal scaling normalization we have seen. And while discussion of live classes also, I told you specifically question is possible on this normalization. Obviously the same question happened in this DA paper. And the question given is, they have given the mean value of the data, something around, it is given 46,000, and the max value of data, which is 1,70,000, and the mean is given directly. You need not to calculate mean, it is a 1 mark question. And mean is given, and 96,000, and the standard deviation is also given, standard deviation given, which is equals to 21,000, and it is asked what is the z-score normalization value of 1,06,000. 1,06,000. So what is the z-score normalization of 1,06,000? Suppose we can say it is a value v, and it's a z-score normalized value of v dash, we can calculate it as v minus mean by standard deviation. This is a straightforward formula. So what is the v value? V is 1,06,000 minus mean value is 96,000 by standard deviation is 21,000. And altogether, when you calculate this one, it is 10,000. It is 10,000 by 21,000. So we can say 10 by 21. Do you have a calculator? Go mobile. 10 by 21. So the 10 by 21, no issue. So we look at for the value of 10 by 21. This is 0.476, 0.476. Because it is asked to give a value up to 3 decimal places, you can give the value is 0.476. This is a question asked from data warehousing subject only for 1 mark, right? The next questions, when you look for the next questions, here one question was given on functional dependencies. They have given list of functional dependencies and asked you to find which functional dependencies possible to be derived using the given set of dependencies. They have given some dependencies like A to B, something B to C, or it is given and asked you to find whether A to C dependency is possible or not. How to verify a particular functional dependency X to Y is possible? We can verify a particular functional dependency X to Y possible if the closure of X contains Y. Closure of X contains Y. So we don't have a proper data, but according to the data that is collected from the students, but not exactly data, there are 2 options that are satisfying the dependencies, where how to answer these questions for each option. Suppose if some dependency is given alpha, given beta, we have to calculate what is the closure of alpha, and C is the closure of alpha contains beta. So if the closure of alpha contains beta, we can say this dependency is possible. So for this question, there are 2 options are correct options, and this is one kind of question. And another question is given from the relational algebra chapter. They have given 3 schemas, means 3 tables data is given, and asked it something, find the team name that is matching with every possibility of, there are 2 other tables are given, and for that question the answer should be team division with, division operator is to be used, and there are 2 tables are given, the table 1 data union the table 2 data, which is equals to pi, and this is going to be the correct answer. If you remember specific data, then you can able to get to know this is the correct answer for the question. And one more question is given from the SQL topic. The SQL topic, they have given 2 tables, right? There are given 2 tables of data, and a query is given, and which is a join query, and have some conditions like join condition is given, and also given some another condition, selection condition, where RAID points, this is a data set given which is representing the Kabaddi data set, like a Pro Kabaddi League data set, the raid points are given, and raid points are greater than 200 given, and also given the city of the Kabaddi team is Patna. It is given. And when you look for the data, there are matches of city equal to Patna records and matches with 3 records in the players' data, and in the all the 3 players having the raid points that are greater than 200. So the answer for that SQL question given is 3 rows, because it is going to return 3 rows in the table. And it is a straightforward simple question. Join the 2 tables, verify the conditions, and you are going to get 3 rows in the output of the query. And one more question is given on indexing chapter. And this is the first time I asked a question on indexing on hashing also. I can say it is a multi-subject question, which is a combination of data structures and databases. And the question is on hashing as well as B+tree index. And they have given a query. And 2 tables of data given and a query given. And in the query, there is one selection condition is there. And that selection condition is specific to some value. That selection condition is specific to some value. And one more condition is saying that it should be greater than some value is given. Greater than some value is given. Suppose if it is to be greater than some value, means from that value to all the values it is to be satisfied, means we can say that query is called a range query. What the range query is doing, it is going to access all the records from this value to all values in the data set. From this means we can call it as a range of values. To access data which is the condition which is based on the range of values, we can use B+tree index. And one selection condition is there, and to have a particular selection, and that we can use using the hashing. So combinations of options are given, which is a MSQ question, and in that MSQ question, in simple terms, if I have to say, B+tree is suitable for random searches and range searches. Means if I wanted to search any particular record based on the selected value, we can use B+tree. And to select any records which are in a certain range, also we can use B+tree index structure. But hashing is suitable only for random searches, but not for the range searches. So there are 2 options in the question that are matching with these possibilities. There is one option given on that particular attribute, we can use hashing, and for the remaining attributes we can using B+tree indexing data structure. And another option is given for all these attributes, we can using B+tree index data structures. So there are 2 options are matching for this question. So both options are the correct options. So these are the 6th question that we have collected from different sources or from our different students, and all these 6 questions comprises together 9 marks. Okay, just let me review in fast what are that 6 questions. The one question is on precedence graph and ask it to find which is the topological sort, and second question is on data warehousing on z-score normalization of the data value, and there the data we got it this data. For this data the formula is value minus mean by standard deviation, will get 0.476, and another question is on functional dependencies, ask it to find which dependencies are correct dependencies, and almost 3 options for this question might be true, and one more algebra question, and algebra question is a team division with the 2 tables union data, and one more is SQL question. SQL question is a join conditions and some conditions are mentioned. The answer for the question is 3 rows, and one last question is on indexing, and based on this idea just decide what options you have chosen. That is hashing is required for random searches, B+tree is for both random and range searches. So that's about the databases and data warehousing. Next I am going to invite my friend Aditya, and he is going to take care about all the engineering mathematics question and listen to him very carefully, because from engineering mathematics more questions were asked. He is going to cover almost all the questions. Okay, enjoy it, stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Thank you.
So, hi students. So, today we can see nearly more than 35 marks were asked from engineering mathematics. If you have looked at the sample paper, most of the questions, not most, I think 2-3 questions, it was just a change in data. So, I have seen there were 2-3 questions where the data was slightly modified and it was asked. If you have attended our classes, if you have solved the sample paper, you would have solved many questions. So, let's look into this question. So, this comes under L'Hospital rule. So, if you apply the limit, you get log 1, which is 0. So, by zeros, it's 0 by 0 form. How do you solve this? Before I solve this, why don't I write like this, ln 1 plus x square plus ln cos x, because log ab is log a plus log b and then whole divided by x square. Now, you can apply L'Hospital rule, you can go for the derivative of the numerator and derivative of the denominator. What is the derivative of the numerator? It is 2x by 1 plus x square plus it is 1 by cos x into minus sin x, and then in the whole denominator you have 2x. This 2x cancels. When you put x tends to 0, you get the answer here as 1, and then here it is minus sin x by, so you have something like this, sin x by cos x, and then again you have got this 2x. So sin x by x we all know as x tends to 0, it is 1, and then you have cos 0, which is 1, 1 by 2 is left, so 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. Such a simple question was asked. Now this is also very well framed. F of x is 1 by 1 plus e power minus x. They want the value of f dash and they gave that f of x is 0.4. Usually x value used to be given, but here f of x is given. So what we do is, let us write f of x in the following way. So this is same as 1 by 1 plus 1 by e power x. After rearranging, this is e power x by e power x plus 1. Now go for the derivative. So before that, let me equate this to 0.4. So if I equate, I get e power x equal to 0.4 into e power x plus 0.4. If you take this side, this is 0.6. Yeah, this is 0.6 into e power x, which is 0.4. So what is e power x value? It will be 4 by 6, which is 2 by 3. This is just an intermediate value. Now what we need is f dash. So f of x is e power x by e power x plus 1. So what would be f dash? So it is e power x plus 1 whole square into e power x plus 1. The derivative of the numerator is e power x minus e power x into the derivative of this is e power x. This cancels. What is left is e power x by e power x plus 1 whole square. Now we have already calculated e power x value, which is 2 by 3. So very well framed. So it is 2 by 3 by 2 by 3 plus 1 whole square. I leave this simplification to you. Now x is a uniform random variable in the interval 1 to 3, y is also a uniform random variable in the interval 2 to 4, and x and y are independent. What's the probability of x greater than or equal to y? So this pattern has already appeared in our examination. If you can draw the graph, that will definitely give the answer. So let's say this is 1, 2, this is 3, this is 4. So this is x axis, let's say this is 1, 2, 3, this is 4, this is y axis. X takes values from 1 to 3, okay. Y takes values from 2 to 4, okay. So you will have the sample space this way. If you look at the area of the sample space, it is 2 into 2 because here the width is 2, the height is 2, so it's 2 into 2. Now what could be the favorable region? So why don't you look at x greater than or equal to y, which is same as y less than or equal to x. Now in this problems, what we need to do is look at what is y equal to x. For example, if I look, so this would be 2 comma 2 point, and so there is a small mistake here. X is from 1 to 3, okay, 1 to 3, y is from 2 to 4, something like this. This is the graph. You can mark this point, because this is 2 comma 2, this is 3 comma 3. The line passes through this point. If you imagine, you will get a line like this. So it is so simple that if you can find this area and divide by the total area, that's the answer. Already this kind of problems have appeared in our gate. So this is also simple. Let's see, this is a triangle, half, base is 1, height is also 1. So after cancellation, there is, no cancellation, 1 by 8. So this is the answer. Let's go to the next problem. Here they say that x is an exponential random variable, and they say that 5 times e of x is variance. So I hope you are all aware of exponential random variable. Its mean is 1 by lambda, so 5 into 1 by lambda is 1 by lambda square, where lambda is a parameter. They asked you to find the value of the parameter. So after cancellation, you have the 5 lambda equal to 1 by 5, which is 0.2. Now this is a very theoretical question. They say that there is some function called f of x, and they say that f dash of x star is 0, meaning by x star is a stationary point, and they also say that the second derivative is greater than 0. Then what is that x star, or what happens at that x star? So simple. So if you have the second derivative greater than 0, obviously it's a local min. So it's a very simple problem. They gave u equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they create a matrix called u into u transpose. U into u transpose is a symmetric matrix, you should be aware of that. Sigma 1, sigma 2 up to sigma 5 are the eigenvalues of M. They want the sum of the eigenvalues. So you need a good knowledge of eigenvalues and eigenvectors to solve this quickly. Okay, so how do you solve this quickly in the exam? So that's what I'm going to show you. So have a look at this. So what is asked is trace of M. So this is same as trace of u into u transpose. So let me take a simple matrix. Suppose you have AB like this. I'm just showing what happens if you multiply this vector. Let's say this is not a matrix. Let's say this is a vector, like this is a vector. You multiply, you get a 2 cross 2 matrix. Let's see, you get A square, you get AB, you get AB again, you get B square, meaning by you get a symmetric matrix. If you want to find the trace, it is simply A square plus B square, which is nothing but sum of squares of all these values. Almost the same logic have been asked. So this is like U, and this is U transpose. When you multiply, you get a big matrix. No need to get those entries. Just sum. You just find the sum of squares of all these numbers. So your answer should be like this. It should be 1 square plus 2 square plus so on 5 square, and you can use your old formula, that is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6, and you can put n as how much? 5. That's how you solve this. Now there is another very interesting problem which is asked on covariance. So I hope you would have studied about covariance. They say that a coin is tossed twice. They say that, this is all memory based. I'll tell you the procedure. So let's see what's happening. So they say that x is equal to 1 is an event where you get both heads, and x equal to 0 means the remaining outcomes. Similarly, y equal to 1 means both tails, and y equal to 0 means the remaining outcomes. They are asking you to find the covariance. So I'll just show you the procedure. I've solved this problem. I may not solve it in detail here. So what's the covariance expression? covariance of x comma y is expectation of xy minus expectation of x into expectation of y. So what are the values of x? X takes only two values, 0 and 1. What are their probabilities? The probabilities are 3 by 4 here, 1 by 4 here. Y takes only two values. What's the probability of y? So this is 1 by 4 here and 3 by 4 here. Find their average values. So I'll show you how to find the average values. It is expectation of x, which is 0 into 3 by 4, 1 into 1 by 4, which is 1 by 4. Expectation of y, 0 into 1 by 4 plus 1 into 3 by 4. So this is 3 by 4, this is also 3 by 4. So if you put this here, you get I think 9 by 16 I suppose. No, it's not 9 by 16, it's 3 by 16. So this product is 3 by 16. What else you need to find? You need to find about xy. So xy takes, see here, if x takes 1 and 0, y takes 1 and 0, the possible values of xy are 0 and 1, only this. So when is this 0? Xy becomes 0 when both are 0, or like this, or like this. And what about this? For this, x must be 1, y must be 1. So what are the probabilities? You need to add all these probabilities. So 0, 0 probability, so this is 3 by 4 into 1 by 4, which is 3 by 16, plus, so remaining all values you have to add. For 1, so both must be 1, so which is 3 by 16, and then find expected value of xy, and when you substitute all this, it will turn out that the covariance was 0. I hope you would have also got that answer. So now this is also a similar pattern which was asked in our previous gate. I'll just tell you the procedure. He says the function is continuous and differentiable. He wants the values of a, b, c. So what you can do is, you can apply the concepts of continuity and differentiability. If you apply the concepts of continuity and differentiability, you can easily eliminate the options. So find the left limit at -2, right limit at -2, equate them, and also use the differentiability. So I hope I need not solve this. It's a very simple problem. And this is also very simple. They gave a 2 cross 2 matrix. They are asking what is the nature of the eigenvalues. So use the characteristic equation, find the eigenvalues. I have done this. I got complex eigenvalues. There was one option with complex eigenvalues. So that's the answer for this. So they say that A is some event where it has at least 2 heads, B is an event which has got at least 2 tails. So some data is missing here, 2 tails. Maybe a coin was tossed 3 times. So what is the probability of A intersection B? So I listed out A, so at least 2 heads is something like this. At least 2 tails. So you write this, the intersection is a null set. When the intersection is a null set, the probability is obviously 0. Such a simple question was asked. So this will be covered in aptitude, and this also appeared in your sample question paper. So they say that there are 50 observations and the mean was found to be 40. So you can write like this, x1 plus x2 plus so on plus xn by 50 is 40. So what would be x1 plus x2 plus so on xn? It would be 40 into 50. They have a new observation called 142. So what's the new mean? So the new mean, so let's denote it as new. So which would be sum of all these observations. So already have the sum 40 into 50 plus the new observation is 142, and then the total number of observations is 51. So try to find this value. So simple. Now this is also one of the sample question paper. Like this is also a question from the sample question paper. So I'll quickly tell you the procedure. They gave the joint density function. They are asking the conditional mean. If you want to find the conditional mean, first you need the conditional probability density function. So first extract this information, probability of y given x. Once you get this, the conditional mean is like this. So the integration is over all the y limits, y into this conditional density function. So it involves a lot of steps. If you want, I can solve it quickly. So first get this, which is f of x comma y by the marginal. So how do you find the marginal? You need to integrate over all y. Y is from 0 to x to xy dy. So get this, put this here and then perform the integration, and then I found that the answer was 1 for this. So I gave you the procedure, I want you to try. Finally, you get some value in x, so you need to substitute 1.5 into that, okay. So I have got few more questions, let me quickly discuss them. So I have them in my mobile. So there was a matrix like this M, which is a 3 cross 3 matrix. They asked what's the determinant of m square plus 12m. So what we can do is we can write this as m into m plus 12i. So you can apply the property of determinant, that is determinant of this into determinant of m plus 12i. So we found that the determinant of m was 0, so the entire answer is 0. How determinant of m was 0? Something like this was observed, R1 plus R2, if you do, that was exactly R3. This was a very silly question. And then there was a polynomial, students, some polynomial was given, and the question was about the local maxima and local minima. So I found that there were 3 stationary points, I don't remember 0, 3, minus 1. So there were 2 correct answers related to this question, okay. So I am just giving you the data. This was a very simple question. Conditional mean is over updated mean. There was one more question which was very critical, something, there were 5 random variables u, v, w, x, y, z equal to some joint mass function or joint density function of 5 random variables was given like this. We exactly don't know the question, so a big equation was given, and then the conditional certain options were given. It was a MSQ actually. So this is yet to be analyzed. Once the question paper is once we get the question paper, we can go for the further analysis, but this was a very good question from the probability section. And then there was one more question called expected value for 2 consecutive even numbers. This is exactly your previous gate question. In the previous gate, instead of die, they took the coin. So for that coin problem, the answer was 6. Even for the die problem, the answer is 6 itself. So it was exactly the same question. And then I think I have covered most of the questions. There were some questions on subspaces. So I think there was one question like this. So some A, B, C, D options were given. So they were asking like this, something like alpha into something plus beta into something, whether this is a subspace or not. And then another set was given, something like alpha square into something plus beta square into something. And then there was another question like this, where the first variable x1 was something times 2x2 plus something like 4 and so on. In another option, a set was given where 3 equations were given, okay, or 2 equations. Now clearly this option satisfies all the properties of a subspace, okay. So you can check it, but this fellow doesn't satisfy all the properties of subspace. For example, if you create one vector, let's say you got one vector, let's say, you cannot have minus of that vector in the given set. You can easily eliminate this. And because of this plus 4, because 0 vector should be also be a part of the subspace, this can also be eliminated. So students will definitely like react to this. So where there was plus 4, you can eliminate that. Where there were alpha square and beta square, you can also eliminate those options. So remaining 2 were correct, that's what I analyze. So these were the questions, and there was another question on projection related to the subspace. So once we get that entire question, we will definitely analyze that. So finally, I can say that if you have solved all the questions from mathematics, you would have easily qualified the exam, okay. So if you have anything, you can please post in the comment box. If you have new questions, we will definitely solve.
Hello viewers, welcome to Data Science Artificial Intelligence paper analysis focusing on data structures and algorithm subject. As Ramesh sir told that data structures they ask 12 marks, where algorithm they ask 8 marks. Total we got 20 marks from data structures and algorithms. Let me explain in which area they focused in data structures and which area they focused in algorithm subject. Okay. So mainly if you observe questions are very low standard questions. Low standard questions I cannot say low standard, they are very easy questions. People who prepared previous year GATE questions, they can easily answer these questions, friends. Okay. So data structures point of view, they are focusing questions based on tree traversals. From tree traversal concept, they asked one question. The question was looking like this: which of the following tree traversal combination will construct the binary tree uniquely? Which of the following tree traversal combination will construct the binary tree uniquely? They provide options like in order, pre-order. So it's a multiple select question. The first option they provided in order, pre-order, whereas second option they provided in order, post order, whereas third option that is in order traversal, and fourth option that is pre-order, post order. So which of the following combination traversal will construct binary tree uniquely? So answer to this question is, by using in order pre-order combination we can construct unique binary tree. By using in order post order traversal also we can construct unique binary tree. So therefore the correct answer for this question is option A, option B, because a multiple select question, friends. So it is one question based on tree traversals, right? The second question based on match the following concept. Second question based on match the following concept. Let me see what type of question they asked in a match the following. So left side they mention FIFO, LIFO, and then lookup. Whereas right side they mention it as stack data structure, and then queue data structure. Another one is called hashing. It is very basic question, friends. Everybody aware about this concept, right? So stack is nothing but last in first out, right? Where queue is nothing but first in first out, where hashing is nothing but here lookup concept. Okay. So this is the one question they asked in this topic, right? So the third question based on the concept of binary tree, So they provided number of internal nodes are I and number of leaf nodes are L. Then what is the relationship between internal nodes and leaf nodes? What is the relation between internal nodes and leaf nodes? This concept based on the concept of, like, we are having one formula, that is, if you are having number of internal nodes are I and number of leaf nodes are L in the binary tree, then the relationship between these two must be, we can use the formula like this: total number of nodes must be is equals to number of internal nodes multiplied by number of children for each node plus 1. Okay, plus 1. When you are talking about binary tree, the binary tree, each and every internal node will have at most 2 children, right? In a binary tree, each and every internal node is having at most 2 children. In that case, if I ask total number of nodes, for example, you can consider there are I1 internal nodes are there. and these I1 internal nodes are having 2 children. Clear, friends? And I2 internal nodes are there, and these internal nodes are having only 1 child. Clear? In a binary tree, each internal node is having at most 2 children. Therefore, I1 internal nodes are having 2 children and I2 internal nodes are having 1 child. In that case, if you ask total number of nodes, this total number of nodes we can write it as number of internal nodes I1 plus I2, number of internal nodes I1 plus I2, and plus leaf nodes. Leaf nodes denoted by L. So total number of nodes nothing but number of internal nodes means I1 internal nodes of 2 children and I2 internal nodes of 1 child plus number of leaf nodes. That is equals to, look at this one, number of internal nodes. There are I1 internal nodes of 2 children, therefore we can say I1 internal nodes of 2 children plus I2 internal node of 1 child plus 1. The purpose of this one is called root node, friends. Okay, this one indicates root node. Now simplify this equation, we will get the relationship between internal nodes and leaf nodes. Just look at here, it is I2 into 1, here it I2 get cancelled, right? Here it is 2I1 plus 1, this side we are having I1 plus L. So from this L is equals to, bring I1 to the right side, 2I1 minus I1, that is equals to I1 plus 1. Therefore, here I1 indicates number of internal nodes, right? Number of internal nodes. In this problem, they are asking the relation between internal nodes and leaf nodes. So by considering, we can say the number of leaf nodes is equals to number of internal nodes plus 1. By assuming in the tree, I1 internal nodes are having 2 children. Okay? By assuming every internal node is having 2 children, we can say L is equal to I plus 1. So this is one question based on binary tree concept, friends. Okay? And algorithm subject point of view, they asked one question from sorting algorithm. They asked one question from sorting algorithm based on quick sort. Based on quick sort. The question was looking like this. Minimum number of comparisons required for sorting sorting 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 using quicksort algorithm. Using quicksort algorithm by taking largest element as a pivot element or by taking last element as a pivot element. See, in this question, if you see array is already sorted and they are talking about last element as a pivot element, the straightforward formula for this one is number of comparisons must be number of elements minus 1. Because they are asking about minimum number of comparison, we can consider best case. So number of elements minus 1, total we are having 5 elements. So 5 minus 1, the answer must be 4. The answer must be 4. Another question based on algorithm subject, they provided 3 sorting algorithms. One is selection sort, another one is insertion sort, and another one is bubble sort. Which of the sorting algorithm will take only 2 swaps for sorting a given array? They provided an array. They are asking which of the following sorting algorithm will take only 2 swaps for sorting the given array. The answer to that question is selection sort, because insertion sort do not require any swaps and bubble sort also will not take 2 swaps. So answer to that question is selection sort. So these are the questions based on algorithm and data structures, but weightage is 20 marks. So because it's a memory based questions, therefore I listed only few questions. Okay, I hope you did very well. Thanks for watching. Now my friend will continue this session. Okay, thank you.
Well, friends, this is a question from verbal ability. There was only one question that which we have got so far. I just would like to sort out this question. This is a 2 marks question, students. Let me just read this question. There was growth in the dairy farms in a city, which means there were some substantial increase in the growth of the dairy. Coincidentally, you see this word coincidentally, there was a mutation in the gene of people. The word mutation means an kind of a change we can think of in the gene of people in that locality, such that because of this mutation, such that the people can digest milk products. The question was very easy, students. As I used to impart in the class, conclusion based questions, inference based questions. So based on above paragraph, choose the correct conclusion among the following options. So this is a conclusion based question. I just don't want to go into the theory aspect of it. Like, the question is very easy. The substance of the question is that the dairy products, what we call it as the person who has a what we call it as in the genes, it has caused some change. That is the main conclusion of the paragraph. So let me just see the options like none can digest milk products. This question can be absolutely, we can easily erase, causing it has going contradictory to the statement, because the paragraph says there was a mutation in the gene of people. There was a mutation in the gene of people such that people can digest milk products. So when people can digest milk products, how can you say none can digest milk products? Absolutely, you can erase this option. Okay, right, very good. Next one, everyone can digest milk products. The paragraph didn't say there was a mutation in the gene of people, which means how can you say everyone like that? So you cannot expect that the dairy product is being taken by everybody. We don't know who takes. So therefore, you cannot say that everyone can take digest milk products. Like, there was a mutation in the gene of people. It's very clear here. Like, so therefore, this also cannot be the option. Mutation in gene is needed to digest milk products. Bingo. Absolutely, this is the right option, students, like, because the question is so clear. On account of this dairy in the city, coincidentally what has happened? There was a change in the gene of people in that locality, and so that what we call it as a people can digest milk products. Like, so mutation in gene is needed. So definitely kind of a change is needed to digest milk products. Absolutely, this is what we call it as the right answer. And why not D? Increase in dairy farms. No doubt that growth in the dairy farms is called increase in dairy farms. Okay, fine. A portion of the paragraph is been inducted here. Has caused the mutation. You see this word like has caused the mutation. Like, no, the paragraph did not say that on account of the growth of dairy in a city that has caused. No, that has not caused the mutation, because coincidentally there was a mutation already. So not that on account of the dairy that mutation has caused. Like, no. So therefore, this cannot be the right answer, students, like now. So if you have got this one as the answer, believe that you have been awarded 2 marks, but still this is a memory based question, students, like. Later on, if any kind of a change has to be noted, kindly we will bring to your concern. But so far, as we have got, this is the question, and this C is absolutely the right answer. Thank you. Just I hand over to the aptitude faculty, Mr. Rajesh sir.
Okay, friends, from the aptitude, we are getting some memory-based questions. First one, find sum of the given series. Two plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 9 plus, like up to infinite. Okay. In our classrooms, in an online and anywhere also, we are discussing this model, my dear friends. Infinite geometry progression concept. Okay. So here 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, bring left hand side. So 2 is a common, so 2 left hand side. So 1 by 2, 1 by 4 means 2 square, 1 by 8 means 1 by 2 cube, like etc. Okay. And next 1 by 3, 1 by 9, 1 by 3 square, 1 by 3 cube, like etc. Up to infinite. Okay. So 2 plus here 1 by 2 common, my dear friends. Then what is the series? 1 plus 1 by 2, 1 by 2 square, like etc. 1 by 3 common, 1 plus 1 by 3, 1 by 3 square, up to infinite. So 2 plus 1 by 2 into, so sum of the infinite geometry progression A upon 1 minus R. So based on that logic, so 2 by 1 is the answer. So 1 by 3 into, here answer 3 by 2 is the answer. Okay. After applying the S infinity is equal to A upon 1 minus R. So 3 cancel, 2 cancel. So 2 plus 1, 1 by 2. So answer 7 by 2 is the answer. This is one type of the question, one question. And next one, given digits 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay, 7. By using the out of the 5 digits, I want 4 digits and also which is exactly divided by, I want 4 digits, I want exactly divided by the 3. So total number of possibilities. Okay. So divisibility by 3 rule. What is the divisibility by 3 rule, my dear friends? Sum of the digits exactly divisible by 3, then total number is divisible by 3. We know that point too. So first of all, add all the values. 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7 upon 3. So 21 by 3. So 21 by 3 means the result is exactly divided by the 3. But I want only 4 numbers. Out of the 5 numbers, which number is you can remove, and also the remaining 4 digit sum should be exactly divided by the 3. So what is the possible? If you remove the 1, no, the result is not divided by the 3. If you remove the 4, the result is not divided by 3. If they remove 7, the result is not divided by the 3. So what is the possible? We can remove 3 and 4. Suppose you can remove 3, then 1, 4, 6, 7. So 4 different values, so how many ways? 4 factorial. If you remove the 6, okay, if you remove the 6 now, 1, 3, 4, 7. So total how many ways? Again 4 factorial. 4 factorial plus 4 factorial. So total 24 plus 24. So answer 48 ways. Okay, 48 possibilities. It is exactly divided by 3. Okay, 2 questions. Next. And next, there is a 4 parties in an election, 4 parties, A, B, C, D. A is getting 40%, B is getting 25%, C is getting 20%, D getting 15%. Okay, out of the total votes. What is the total votes, my dear friends? 1,15,000. Out of the 1,15,000, A gets 40%, B gets 25%, C gets 20%, D gets 15%. But out of the 1,15,000, 5,000 votes are, okay, 5,000 votes are not verified. Not verified means it is not a belongs to A, it is not a belongs to B, it is not a belongs to C, it is not a belongs to D also. So totally verified 1,10,000. So this is 100%, that means. Okay. Then what is the requirement question here? B and C together. I want B and C together. I want B and C together means 45%. So 100% this much, 45% is how much? Okay. Simply logic, 100% this one. Here 50%, 55,000. Okay, 5% in this 5%, 5,500. So approximately 49,500 is the answer. 49,500 is the answer directly. Okay, calculation. 5,000. Next, last one. There are two candidates, A and B. Three different funds, A, B and C, three different mutual funds. So with a different rate percentage. Okay. So A deposited initially, A deposited 10,000, B deposited 20,000, C deposited 20,000. C deposited 20,000. 20,000 and B, so A invested here 20,000, B 10,000, C 10,000. Okay, here rate of interest 15%, 15 by 100, 15%, 15 by 100. Here rate of interest not given, so x by 100. Here also rate of interest not given, x by 100 into 20,000. So next one, same 15% only, 15 by 100, 15 by 100. Okay, 15 by 100. Here what is the difference, my dear friends, here? At the end of the year, person A received 500 rupees more than the person B. Person A received 500 rupees more than the person B. So difference, so the difference is 500 after the simplification, then x is equal to, you are getting 10%, my dear friends. Take a difference. Take a difference. So A minus B. So overall A minus B 500. If you can simplify this equation, you are getting x is equal to 10%. Okay, friends. Next. Last question. One more memory based. It is purely memory based, my dear question. Observe. What is the probability in a family? In a family, there are 3 kids, 3 children. I want 2 girls, 1 boy. I want 2 girls and 1 boy. Okay. Here there is a question. Okay, let us twist to. Okay, 2 type of the answers we are getting actually. Suppose 2 girls and 1 boy. Okay, sequentially if you are getting like this, G, G, B, boy, girl, girl. So we are getting only 2 chances. Out of how many chances? So first chance 1 by 2, maybe boy, girl. Second chance 1 by 2, maybe boy, girl. So again next 1 by 2. So total we are getting 8 chances probability wise. So 2 by 8. Then answer 1 by 4. One answer is the possible. Order not a necessary. Order is not a necessary means, so out of 3 kids I want 2 girls. So 3 C2. So 1 boy obviously. Out of how many chances? 8 chances. Then answer 3 by 8 is the answer. Maybe. So here it is completely memory based. Maybe out of these 2, 1 is chance. Okay, friends. From the aptitude, these are the questions we are getting. Okay. Next we continue the faculty. Thank you.
Hello students. So now we are going to discuss questions from artificial intelligence in the data science and AI paper. So look at the first question. If H1 and H2 are admissible, which of the following are admissible? Okay, before answering this question, first try to recall what is the concept of admissibility. So I'll explain with the help of a graph problem. Let us say we have a graph like this: A, B, C, D, and we have a goal state here. Fine. So each node is associated with some admissible heuristic value. Let us say I want to calculate what is the admissible heuristic value of a value for h of a. How I will calculate it? Just give some random values here: 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Fine. Now let us explore all the possible paths from A to G. What is the first path we explore? To reach G from A to B to G. What is the path cost? 2 plus 1, that is 3. 2 plus 1, that is 3. What is the another path that will help you to reach G from A? The another path is A to C to G. And the path cost is 3 plus 2, that is 5. What is the another path? A to D to G. A to D to G. That is 4 plus 3 equal to 7. Now, what can be the heuristic value of A? What can be the heuristic value of A? The heuristic value must be less than all possible true costs. All these are the actual costs, either 3 or 5 or 7. So, whatever the heuristic value you keep here, that must be less than all these values. So, I can, what is the minimum among these three? What is the minimum among these three? Minimum among these three is 3. So, I can take h of A as either 0 or 1 or 2. Either 0 or 1 or 2. I hope you understood the concept of admissibility. So the concept of admissibility is very simple. You have to explore all the true costs, all the actual path costs. Once you find all the actual path costs, whatever the admissible heuristic or estimate we are giving, that estimate should be less than all the actual costs. So because my estimate should be less than actual costs, the minimum among actual costs is 3. So I can estimate it as 0 or 1 or 2. Now, they didn't give any particular problem statement like this, but they have given H1 is admissible and H2 is admissible. Now they are asking out of which these are admissible. So the simple logic is, if I can prove the proposed function is creating a value that is greater than H1 or H2, then I can easily say it is not admissible. Let us say take this example. Let us say the minimum possible actual cost is 5. Fine. And my H1 is saying 2, my H2 is saying 3. Now just try to understand this. If I consider one estimate as 2, another estimate as 3, the minimum possible actual cost is 5. If I take H1 into H2, the value is 6. Is it less than this minimum actual cost? No. So even though H1 and H2 are less than minimum actual cost, this is minimum actual cost. So if you observe, H1 is less than minimum actual cost, H2 is less than minimum actual cost. But H1 into H2 is not less than minimum actual cost. So even though H1 and H2 are admissible, what do you mean by admissible? Admissible means it is lesser than minimum actual cost. So I have shown you a scenario where H1 and H2 are admissible, but H1 into H2 is not admissible. In the same way, you can show even though H1 and H2 are admissible, H1 plus H2 is not admissible. Let us say minimum actual cost is 4. Consider this scenario: 2 is less than 4, 3 is less than 4. But H1 plus H2 will become 5. But H1 plus H2 is not less than 4. So what I am trying to say, after considering H1 and H2, if you can produce a case where this function is not admissible, you can say this function is not less than minimum actual cost, then you can say this function cannot be admissible. So I have shown you example where H1 and H2 is greater than minimum actual cost. Let us say H1 we have taken less than minimum actual cost. H2 also we have taken less than minimum actual cost. But I have shown you a scenario where H1 and H2 is greater than minimum actual cost. In the same way, I have taken H1 less than minimum actual cost, H2 less than minimum actual cost, and I have shown you a scenario where H1 plus H2 is greater than minimum actual cost. In the same way, if you consider H1 equal to 0.4, H2 equal to 0.2, and let us say my minimum actual cost is 1. My minimum actual cost is 1. If you observe 0.4 is less than 1, 0.2 is less than 1. But if I consider h1 by h2, it will become 0.4 by 0.2, which will be 2. If you observe, even though h1 and h2 are lesser than minimum actual cost, h1 by h2 is 2, which is greater than minimum actual cost. So I have shown you a scenario where even though h1 and h2 are lesser than minimum actual cost, h1 by h2 is not lesser than minimum actual cost. So even this option cannot be the admissible. Whatever the numbers you take, always this h1 minus h2 modulus, this function will give you a value that is less than h1 minus h2 modulus 1, always less than, it will be always less than h1. In the same way, h1 minus h2 modulus will always be less than h2. So when h1 and h2 are admissible, always modulus of h1 minus h2 will be admissible. Okay? Why I am not giving you any example here? Because for all the other three, we can create a counter example. I cannot create any counter example because it is always true. That's why C is the answer. I hope this point is clear for you. Let us solve the next question. So option C is the answer. So when h1 and h2 are admissible, modulus of h1 minus h2 is always admissible. What about other options? h1 divided by h2 may or may not be admissible. h1 into h2 may or may not be admissible. h1 plus h2 may or may not be admissible. And try to understand this point. What I am trying to say, it is not that always they exceed minimum actual cost, but there are some cases where they exceed minimum actual cost. That's why they are not admissible. Fine. Let us go to next question. Okay. This is the question based on tautology. See, the key point you need to understand about this question is, generally we need to create truth table and you need to check the last column to check whether it's tautology or not. But in this question, there is a loophole that you can exploit. This right hand side is only true for only one combination of true and false values because there is unconditioned. I am repeating this point again. See, what is the tautology? The last row, the last column in the table must contain all truth values. So if you observe this question, whenever this is true, this must be true. And there is only one combination of x and y that can make this RHS as true. So if you take this example, if you consider x as true, y as false, only for this case, this RHS is true. Now you need to check, if you substitute these values in LHS, if it also becomes true, then it is a tautology. Otherwise, it is not a tautology. So substitute y as false implies x as true. So false implies true is true. So when RHS is true, LHS is also true. That's why it is tautology. In the same way, for what combination, second option, RHS of second option will be true? When x equal to false and y equal to true. For this combination, my LHS is always true. Then I need to substitute these values in RHS and check the validity. Now my x is false, then negation x will be true, implies my y is true. So true implies true is always true. So when I consider LHS as true, RH is also true. That's why this is also tautology. With the same substitution, you will get to know this is also tautology. Just look at this value. This combination will be true when x equal to false and y equal to true. And if I substitute y equal to true and x equal to false, this will be false. So this will be false. So here LHS is true and RHS is false. True implies false is false. So for the option D, I have created a case. I have explored a case where this part is true and this part is false. So this combination will give me false. Since one of the combination is false, it cannot be tautology. I hope this point is clear for you. So for option D, I can create a I can explore a case where the determinant is true and consequence is false. That's why it is not tautology. So option D is the answer for this question. And one more thing, I think in the exam paper this option D is in the place of option B or something, but try to understand 3 combinations were true and 1 combination was false. Since it is able to create a case for false, it is not tautology. Let us go to the next question. So this is the concept based on total probability and Bayes theorem. This is the concept. This is the problem based on total probability and Bayes theorem. What they have asked for P of t t given S. So for this I need to write P of t intersection S by P of S. Now P of t intersection S is nothing. Now I can rewrite P of t intersection S as S given t into what is given to us? Yeah, S given T is given P of T by P of S. Why I have written this? Because in the question I have the value of P of S by T and I have the value of P of T. Just look at it. They haven't given P of T, but they have given me information from which I can get P of T value. Since P of T complement is 0.6, P of T will become 0.4 because they are mutually exhaustive. Since P of S given T is 0.3, P of S complement given T will be 0.7. You just need to subtract 1 minus 0.3 because P of S given T and P of S complement given T are mutually exclusive. Sorry, mutually exhaustive. With the same technique, P of S given T complement is 0.6. With the help of this, I can write P of S complement given T complement would be 1 minus 0.4 and the answer would be 1 minus 0.6, that would be 0.4. See, now to calculate P of S, we need to apply total probability. What is the problem for total probability? P of S equal to P of S given T into P of T. This is the one possible case for S. Another possible case is P of S complement given T into P of T. Oh, sorry. P of, sorry for this. We are interested in S, not S complement. Okay. P of S given T complement into P of T complement. If you observe this expression, all of these values are known to us. What is P of S given T? That is 0.3 into what is P of T? That is 0.4. Fine. Plus what is P of S given T complement? That is 0.6. What is P of T complement? That is also 0.6. So it will boil down to 0.12 plus 0.36, that is 0.48. So in this formula, I got P of S as 0.48. P of S given T into P of T, that we have already calculated, it is 0.12. So I want P of T given S, it is 0.12 by 0.48. It is nothing but 1 by 4, that is 0.25. Fine. So it is the concept, it is the question based on both Bayes theorem and total probability. Fine. Let us go to next question. So the answer is 0.25. Next, this is the question based on uninformed search. In the uninformed search, we have two things. One is we have 6 to 7 different algorithms. They have framed a question based on BFS and DFS. I didn't give you the entire question. I just give you the key points in the question. So in the question, what they have mentioned, we have a graph like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let us say 8 is there, 9 is there. Fine. See what they have asked. Before exploring 6, the number of nodes using BFS are equal to the number of nodes using DFS are equal. That is one option. We cannot explore 6 with the help of BFS or DFS. Either you apply BFS or you apply DFS, you will not be able to reach 6. That is one option. The number of nodes that we explore during using DFS are more than number of nodes using BFS. Another option is BFS needs more node explorations than DFS. Okay, try to understand this scenario. The first, I'll tell you why this option is wrong. BFS will definitely find you the answer because first we will explore level 1, then you will explore level 2, then you will explore level 3. There is no chance for infinite recursion here. You will complete level 1, then you will complete level 2, and then you will complete level 3. Within a level, number of nodes are always finite. So since you are crossing level by level in BFS, that's after some time you will definitely reach to 6. So this option is wrong because BFS somehow finds solution. DFS may not find solution in some scenarios. Let me show the scenario. Let us say if this graph is like this. There are infinite nodes in first path itself. Then after 1, 2, 4, 8, in this path you will be exhausted. You will never backtrack because there is an infinite path here. So when applying DFS, there is a chance that you will never reach 6. So DFS may not find the solution in some scenarios, but BFS always finds the solution. That's why B cannot be the answer. Then one thing is for sure, since we are exploring path like this, let us say the graph is ended here. Before reaching 6, I unnecessarily explore 8 and 9. in the BFS case, 1, 2, 4, 8, 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 5, then only I reach 6. If you observe 8 and 9 are explored unnecessarily because BFS goes like this. It explores one path, it backtracks, it explores this path, it backtracks, it explores this path, backtracks, it explores this path, backtrack, and it explores till this path. In case of BFS, I have already told you 1, 2, 3. In case of BFS, what is the exploration order? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unnecessarily, we are not exploring 8 and 9. So what I am trying to say, at any case, the number of nodes may be greater, the number of nodes we explore using DFS may be greater than the number of nodes we explore using BFS. Okay, you can say less, greater than or equal to, but BFS nodes cannot be greater at any case. BFS always explore less nodes compared to DFS. Fine. So the option for this question is DFS explores more nodes than BFS. DFS explores more nodes than BFS. This is the conclusion you need to remember regarding this question. Then, so this question is based on conditional independence and Bayes network. Okay. First, what you need to understand, they were asking P of U equal to 1, V equal to 1, W equal to 1, X equal to 1. And this table is showing, let us say P of U equal to 0.8 and P of U equal to 1 equal to 0.5. So first what I want you to understand, for this scenario, what I need to write, initially I need to write P of U into P of V into 1 minute. I need to write the value of U and V also. Sorry for this. Yeah. So that expression can be 1 minute. Okay. This expression can be rewritten as, by product rule, you can rewrite it as P of U equal to 1 into P of V equal to 1 into P of W equal to 1 into P of X equal to 1. But these are not independent events, they are dependent events. So U cannot be affected by any event, that is fine, but V can be affected by U. And what is the value of V that what is the value of U we are expecting? U equal to 1. So P of U equal to 1 is unaffected, but P of V equal to 1 is affected, and you expect P of V equal to 1 when U equal to 1. I hope this point is clear for you. With this graph you understood V is getting affected by U. And what is the other thing getting affected by U? W is also getting affected by U. So P of W equal to 1 when U equal to 1. This is the value you are interested in. And finally X equal to 1. And P of X equal to 1, and we are interested when both V and W are 1. Okay. Now in these tables we have multiple values, right? You need to take the corresponding values. When P of U equal to 1, the probability is 0.5 into when P of V equal to 1, U equal to 1, see U equal to 1 and V equal to 1, then the probability is 0.5. What I am trying to say, U equal to 1 has two cases, when V equal to 0 and V equal to 1, but in the question they are interested in V equal to 1. So out of these two values, I took this one. So when V equal to 1, U equal to 1, the probability is 0.5 into W equal to 1, U equal to 1. So W equal to 1 and U equal to 1. For this scenario, the probability is 1 into, then I want, when I take the value of X, just go to the, see, here I need to take value from this column because I want value of X to be 1, but I want value of V to be 1, W to be 1. So for that I have taken this value, 0.5. Okay. So the value is 0.5 into 0.5 into 1 into 0.5, that is 0.125. Okay. So this is the question based on the concept of conditional independence using Bayes network, and the answer is 0.125. Fine. Okay, this question is done. Then this is the question based on adversarial search. This is the question based on adversarial search. Okay, during alpha beta pruning. It is just based on the definition. Alpha always store the maximum value along the path. Alpha always store the maximum value along the path, and beta always store the minimum value along the path. So alpha, m value is corresponding to alpha, so m should store the high value, and n value is corresponding to beta, and n should store the low value. So alpha is low and beta, alpha is high and beta is low. I am repeating this point again. This is a straight away question based on the definition. During this algorithm exploration, alpha always store the maximum value along the path and beta always store the minimum value along the path. So alpha should be high, beta should be low. And they have taken alpha equal to m and beta equal to n. So m should be high, n should be low. M should be high, n should be low. See, options order may be different in the question paper. Just try to understand the concept. Fine. So this question is also done. So this question is based on adversarial search, min-max algorithm using alpha beta pruning. Fine. Then, okay, I don't remember this exact question, but I remember one of the option. So they have given four first order logic statement. I don't remember other three options. I just remember one option. I just try to explain other option. The question is like this. They have given 4 first order logic statements. They are asking how many of these statements are equivalent to this statement. Okay, fine. So in the option they have given like A, S1 and S2, B, S2 and S3, C, S1 and S3, D, S1 and S4. I don't remember the exact options. They have given S1, S2, S3, S4 like this. In the options they have given S1 and S2 like this. So I just try to explain this one expression because I remembered it. All balls are round except the balls used for rugby. So what they are trying to say, if you are using a ball for rugby, its shape must not be round. So initially they have given statements like this. Game of rugby of ball means we play rugby with that ball. We play rugby with that ball. If you don't play rugby with that ball, that will be false. If you play rugby with that ball, this will be true. Same. If the ball shape is round, then it is true. If the ball shape is not round, it will be false. Okay. These are the 2 statements they have given. Based on that, they have created first order logic statements like this. If you observe here, for all game, ball rugby, let us say, whatever the ball you use for rugby, its shape must not be round. That's what that is the sentence they have given, right? All balls are round except the balls used for rugby. So it is like, if you are playing rugby, you can definitely say the ball is not round. The ball is not round. Okay. Similar to this expression, they have created 4 expressions. Out of these 4 expressions, first we need to take the expression and convert it into English sentence, and you need to check whether the English sentence is equivalent to sentence given in the question or not. Fine. This is one question that is given based on the first order logic. If you observe, from the propositional logic they have given one question, and the first order logic they have given one question. From the propositional logic they have given question based on tautology, and the first order logic they have given question based on the translation. This is the last question, and this question is also based on the concept of Bayes network. First you need to understand, based on this equation you need to create the Bayes net. If you observe here, U and V are dependent, that means U and V doesn't have any parents. Now W is dependent on U and V, that means U and V can affect W. Now X is affected by W and Y is affected by W. That means W has 2 childs, one is X and another one is Y. Fine. There are 5 rules based that talks about conditional independency. I am not going to talk about all the 5 rules. I will just try to explain these statements whether they are true or false. Given W, X is independent. Okay. Given W, X is independent of everything. Just try to understand this. There is a theorem that says when parent is given, what is the parent of X? W. When parent is given, X is independent of everything. When parent is given, X is independent of everything. Who is the parent of X? W. Since W is given, X is independent of everything. True. Given W, Y is independent. This is also true because who is the parent of Y? W. When parent is given, Y is independent of everything. So this is also true. Given W, V is independent. Just try to understand, U and V are independent of everything. Okay. I don't remember this exact sentence, but try to understand. The basic definition is U and V are not dependent in anything. Okay. I am not sure about this statement, but this statement I am very sure because this is not the answer. That's why I remembered it exactly. Given W, Y and X are independent. Just try to understand this scenario. W is the cause, X is the effect 1 and Y is the effect 2. Fine. Let us say if you observed a effect, then you start believing something has happened. The observation value of effect 1 will definitely affect the value of observation value of effect 2. Let me tell you how. Let us say you observed this effect and you suspected this event W. Then you understood it doesn't happen. So when this is given and this is not happen, what would happen? The other thing might have happened. what I'm trying to say is both x and y are derivatives of w. Both x and y are derivatives of w. If w has happened, if this thing doesn't happen, other thing might have happened. The probability will increases. Okay. So this is the question based on Bayes network. So let me revise the keys for you. We have 8 questions from this A. Another question is also there based on DFS, but that is talking about back edge. Back edge is not concept from A. It is the concept from DS. That's why I didn't consider it in the A. Okay. So based on the definition of back edge, they have given you a question, but that doesn't come under A. So first question is based on admissibility. H1 minus H2 is admissible. Modulus of H1 minus H2 is admissible when H1 and H2 are admissible. And this question says you just need to substitute some truth or false values and you need to take the validity of the statement. Then you need to take Bayes theorem. This is the question based on Bayes theorem and total probability. And this is the question based on uninformed search algorithms, that are BFS and DFS. And this is the question based on Bayes network conditional independence representation. Okay. And this is question based on adversarial search, min-max algorithm with alpha beta pruning. And this is question based on first order logic. And we have some other question based on propositional logic. And this is also question based on conditional independence Bayes network concept. Fine. Thank you.
Hello friends, good evening. Now we will discuss the subject machine learning from DA paper. Here basically we got 7 questions. Just a second. We got 7 questions and the weightage is 11 marks. As this is memory based, there will be here and there 1 or 2 marks, plus and minus additions or deletions will be there. But as a whole, this is the weightage as well as the number of questions that are given in today's paper. And if we observe NAT, that is numerical answer type, as well as MCQs, multiple choice questions, and MSQ, multiple select type questions. And again, 1 mark and 2 marks. Here in numerical answer type, we don't have any 1 mark question, but there are 2 marks questions. So the weightage will be 4 marks. And multiple choice questions, there are 2 1 mark questions and 1 2 mark question. So that is also becoming 4 marks here. While coming to multiple select type question, there is 1 1 mark question and there is 1 2 mark question. So that gives you 3 marks. So here we have 11 marks totally. So briefly, this is the classification, and now we will move on to the questions that are given in the paper. See here, the first question is, in case of KNN, that is K nearest neighbor algorithm, what is the odd value of K such that the diamond shaped data point gets classified as a rectangle? You just observe this data that is given to us. Here we have 2 circles. These are the 2 circles, and we have 3 squares. 1, 2, and 3 squares are there. And this is the diamond, right? Now, what is asked in the question? In the problem statement, we have to find out the odd value of K. K could be any integer value, but we are interested in the odd value of K, such that the diamond K, the diamond shaped data point is classified as a rectangle but not as a square. So here I am taking the different possible values of K. K could be 1, or K is equal to 3, or K is equal to 5, and even K can also be 7 also, but with these 3 different examples for K, 3 different possible values of K, 1, 3 and 5, we can sort out what would be the answer. Right. First, let us consider K is equal to 1. That means we have to find out one nearest neighbor to this diamond. Obviously, the nearest point would be this circle. So K is equal to 1 gives the nearest point as circle, so that your point, your diamond will also be classified as a circle under such case. If K is equal to 1, your diamond shaped data is also classified as a circle because it is near. It is pretty obvious that when you compare the distance between the K nearest neighbor, its nearest point is to be identified. So its nearest point is obviously circle. No mathematical calculation is required here, right? Similarly, next take K is equal to 3. So if I am taking K is equal to 3, under such case, my data point diamond is nearer to 2 circles and 1 square. So what is the majority vote here? If I am taking 3 nearest neighboring points to this diamond, what are the majority vote that is to be identified? Here the majority vote is obviously taken by 2 circles. We have 2 circles and 1 square. So as the majority vote is towards the circle, we can say that K is equal to 3 is also giving circle as our output. But what we have to figure out, we have to find out the value of K such that your data point diamond will be identified as a square or a rectangle, right? Now if I am taking the third case, that is K is equal to 5, under such case, under K is equal to 5 case, we have my data point is nearer to 2 circles and 3 squares. or 3 rectangles, whatever it may be. So what is the majority vote? Here the majority vote is squares or rectangles, whatever, and so that under k is equal to 5 k's, under k is equal to 5 k's, your diamond data point will be classified as a rectangle. So correct answer is k is equal to 5. Right, we will move on to the next question. Right, and this is also a question, is also a simple question, but good analysis is needed. Basically, for us 6 input points are given to us. One is x1 is equal to 1 comma 0, x2 is 0 and 1, x3 0 minus 1, x4 minus 1 0, and x5 2 2, x6 minus 2 minus 2. And the corresponding outputs are mentioned as y1, y2, y5 is equal to 1, y3, y4 and y6 is equal to minus 1. And the given question is, if hard margin support vector machine is used, then what are the support vectors? Okay, right. Here I am taking the representation like this. You just observe carefully. This is my point 1, this is my point 2, and this is 3, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. Similarly, here on y-axis 1, 2 and 3 are designated here, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3 are designated like this. Right. Now, if you consider the first data point, that is x1 is equal to 1 comma 0, that 1 comma 0 can be identified here on x-axis like this. This is the point, right, you just observe here, this is my data point which is 1 comma 0. And similarly, identify your second data point 0 1. That data point 0 1 will be identified like this. Next, your third data point x3 is equal to 0 minus 1. This is your 0 minus 1 data point. Similarly, x4 minus 1 0 data point, that would be taken like this. And your fifth data point is 2 comma 2. That 2 comma 2 data point is like this, and minus 2 and minus 2 data point would be identified like this. So these are the 6 input related data points that are mentioned here. Now in the problem statement, it is given that y1, y2 and y5 are equal to 1. So I am mentioning that with a different color here. This is y1 is the point which belongs to x1. So this is my x1 point, so its corresponding value is 1. And similarly, y2 is the point that corresponds to x2. And so this is that where do we have a 0 1 point? This one. So this is also giving 1. And x3 equal to 0 minus 1 is having a y3 which is equals to minus 1. So 0 minus 1, this is the point which is giving minus 1 as its output, and minus 1 0 is giving minus 1, and y5 is equal to 1. What is y5? It is the output that corresponds to x5 is equal to 2 comma 2. So 2 comma 2 point is this one. For this one, your output is 1. Next, for y6, that is this last data point which belongs to minus 2 and minus 2, the output is minus 1. So now, if you observe here, see, all these 3 points, these are the points which belongs to one category, that is y is equal to 1, and these are the 3 points which belongs to another category, that is y is equal to minus 1. Now if you use the hard margin support vector machine, then that separation line can be given like this. Okay, if you give the separation line in between the two classifying points, these are two classifying clusters, then here you will get the nearest support vectors will be the vectors that belongs to this one, this point and this point. So what is this point? This is x1, this is x2 and this is x3 and this will be your x4. So what are the support vectors if we use hard margin support vector machine? That is the correct answer is x1, x2, x3 and x4. So this is a simple question if you have an idea about the support vector machines concept. Okay, right. We'll move on to the third question. The given question is, there are k binary attributes and we have to perform two-class classification. What is the number of parameters that are required by naive Bayes algorithm? So options are given to us: 2k plus 1, 2 power k plus 1, 2 power k plus 1 plus 1 and k square plus 1. Right. Here we have to use the algorithm that is a naive Bayes algorithm. And from the inferential statistics, here from the inferential statistics, if we use the Bayes theorem like this, here I am considering Bayes theorem as like this: P of y is your output given k attributes. Those can be taken as x1, x2, x3, so on. Up to xn is equal to probability of x1, x2, x3, so on xn given y multiplied with probability of y divided by probability of input attributes, that is x1, x2, x3, so on xn. Right. So this is the basic idea of Bayes theorem, and in naive Bayes we have to use an important condition or important rule that is given as a conditional independence. We have to use conditional independence. So from conditional independence, what is conditional independence? I will tell you now. From conditional independence in naive Bayes, if you consider this numerator, you just consider this numerator which is required to calculate the number of parameters. Here in this expression, let us take probability of x1, x2, x3, so on up to xn given y is equal to, because we are assuming a conditional independence, that means this expression will become probability of x1 given y multiplied with probability of x2 given y multiplied with probability of x3 given y, so on probability of, just a moment, probability of xn given y multiplied with probability of y. Right. In the problem statement, it is given that we need to perform two-class classification. We need to perform two-class classification here, so that in every probability term we have two possibilities. like that, how many terms we have? N terms, or in the problem definition it is given that there are k binary attributes, so that every n can be changed to k here. Every n can be changed to k here, so that we have 2k values, and we need 2k parameters. From px1y we will get 2 values, from px2y we will get 2 parameters, from pxky given pxk given y we will get 2 parameters, so that like that from this entire expression we will get 2k parameters, and for py you need to consider 1 parameter, so that 2k plus 1, which is given in option A, will be the correct answer. Right. Next question. This is a simple match the following type question. Here the principal PQR, those are the machine learning algorithms. One is principal component analysis PCA, another one is naive Bayes and logistic regression. These are the 3 algorithms that are given to us, and under which classification they will fall, that is to be identified, either generative model or dimensionality reduction or discriminative model. This is a simple question where if you take principal component analysis PCA, that will be classified as a dimensionality reduction algorithm. It will be classified as a dimensionality reduction algorithm. Basically, what is the major job of a dimensionality reduction algorithm? It will reduces the, it is used to reduce the number of features mainly. So, if you consider the principal component analysis, it will take all the features or all the columns in your data set, and it reduces and it gives a new set of values. This can be considered as feature extraction. Feature extraction is a very important step in data analysis and machine learning cycle. Okay, so basically the principal component analysis will take the entire features, and from that features new features, from that set of features the important features will be extracted out with the dimensionality reduction, that is called dimensionality reduction, and these new features are called principal components. That means those are the important components. So basically principal component analysis is a dimensionality reduction technique. Next, naive Bayes. Naive Bayes is a generative model. Generative model. It is a model, basically a generative model is having the ability to generate the data. If you are giving 1000 columns, similar kind of 200 columns, if we are giving 1000 rows, another 200 rows of similar data can be generated by these kind of algorithms. Okay, if I am showing 1000 cats to the algorithm, then it can draw its own 200 cats. That is the basic idea. That is the beauty of generative models, generative model algorithms, right? So naive Bayes is a generative model algorithm. Basically, it uses the generative model algorithms will use the joint probability distribution conditions. Okay. Now, while coming to the logistic regression is a simple classification technique, and discriminative models are always used for classification. The discriminative models will be used for the task of classification. Okay, so accordingly, P is mapped onto 2. Q is mapped onto 1, and logistic regression, that is R is mapped onto 3. So this will be our answer. Next, right. Actually, here is a question, a simple multiple select question that is from the concept of linearly separable conditions. I'll give you the idea and what are the 4 options that are given in the paper, and I'll discuss the idea behind it. So whatever the diagrams I am drawing here, they are not the exact diagrams that are given in the paper, but here I am taking the gist, that is what the concept. Here I am explaining the concept behind solving that question. Basically it is a simple question. Here certain data points are given to us. Like this, circles and rectangles. In option A, the given data points are like this, and in option B, the given data points are like this. This is your option B. And in option C, the data points are mentioned or they are given like this. And in option D, this is your option C, and in option D, the given data points are like this. Right. The given question is, among the given 4 options, which are the linearly separable data sets? See here, linearly separable means if we draw a straight line, that is any straight line which is of the form y is equal to mx plus c, or m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus c, like that. If you are able to draw a line like that, then that will come under a linear representation of your model. Now the basic idea is, here we can separate the data points like this. So this is a linearly separable, and to separate the data points here we need to use the quadratic representation. See here, the data separation can be done like this, inside the circle and outside the circle, but circle is not the linear representation, so this is not linearly separable. Now coming to this coming to this next option, here also if you observe, the 4 data points are on the 4 corners of a rectangle. So it's not possible to draw a separation line. It is not possible to draw a straight line which separates similar set of data points. So if the data points are on the 4 corners of a rectangle, it is not possible to draw a linear line for that. Draw a straight line under such case. And now coming to option D, we can draw a straight line like this, such that option D is linearly separable. So option A, correct answers are option A as well as option D. Right. Next, so there is one 2 marks question which is based on neural networks. Right. Here in the next question, a neural network is given to us. I am drawing that network here. X1, X2 and X3 are the inputs, and this is considered as your input layer, and the first hidden layer is taken like this. There are 3 nodes in this, and the weights are from the input layer, the weights are given like this. X1 is given to the first node here in the first hidden layer. I am mentioning that as a H1, and this is X2 that is also given to that first node in it. Next, so let us consider this as a H11, H12, H13 like that. You can take it like this. Now next, to the second node in the first hidden layer, X1 is given as well as X3 is given, and to the third hidden layer in H1, X1, X1, X2 and X3, all these 3 are given, right. Next, in the second hidden layer H2, we have 2 nodes, node 1 and node 2. Let us call them as H21 and H22, right. Now H11 output, H12 output, H13 output are given to H21 as well as H11, H12 and H13 are given to H22 also. Next, H21 and H22 outputs are given as input to the third layer, which will be your output layer, okay, and that output layer is giving the output here. And here at the first level, all the weights are to be considered as ones, and in the second level, all the weights are 2, and in the third level, 3. So from input to first hidden layer, the weights are ones. From first hidden layer to second hidden layer, the weights are 2s, all the weights are 2s, and from second hidden layer to the output layer, all are 3s. Now, there is another network is given to us. It is taking only the input layer with the inputs x1, x2, x3, and there is one output layer. If the corresponding weights are P, Q and R, then if this x1, x2 and x3 are same as this x1, x2 and x3, and if the activation function is ReLU activation and all the inputs values x1, x2, x3 are greater than 0, x1, x2 and x3 all of them are greater than 0, and the corresponding activation function is the ReLU activation function, then what are the values of P, Q and R? Right. Here you just observe here inputs x1, x2, x3 are greater than 0, and if you observe the weights, all the weights are positive values. So the ReLU activation function acts as a linear activation function. Remember this point, this is very important, because all the values, all the weights here are positive values, and x1, x2, x3 values are greater than 0, there is no chance of getting a negative value here at any point. So if I am getting a negative value, then ReLU function can round off, or it makes that negative value to 0. But here there is no such possibility. I think you got the point here. Even though the given activation function is ReLU activation function, it acts as a linear activation function only. Okay, make a note of it. Next, if I am considering H11, to H11 x1 is given and x2 is given. So H11 is equal to 1 multiplied with x1 plus x2. Similarly, for H12, the output, the corresponding outputs I am taking here, x1 plus x2, and for h12 we are giving x1 as well as x3. So it will be x1 plus x3, and h13 for this node h13, the corresponding output will be, all the three inputs are given to it with their respective weights once. So it will be x1 plus x2 plus x3 multiplied with their respective weights 1 only. Right. Now these outputs x1 plus x2 here, and x1 plus x3 here, and x1 plus x2 plus x3 here will be given as inputs to the next level with the weights 2. So in the next level, if you observe carefully, h21 gives an output where here 2 multiplied with this output here is x1 plus x2, 2 multiplied with x1 plus x2 plus, and here this one, this output will be x1 plus x3, that 2 multiplied with x1 plus x3 plus again 2 multiplied with here this one, this is x1 plus x2 plus x3, that is the h13 corresponding output, that is also to be multiplied with 2. So that would be 2 multiplied with x1 plus x2 plus x3. And similarly, if I am considering h22, as this is a fully connected levels, here we can take, if you observe here, whatever the inputs we are giving to h21, the same inputs are going to h22 with the same weights. So h22 will also gives you the same output, that is 2 x1 plus x2 plus 2 x1 plus x3, just a second, or else we will do one thing. First of all, I will simplify the above expression first. So h21 corresponding right, h21 here, h21 corresponding output would be 6x1 plus 2x2 plus 2x2, that is 4x2 plus 2x3 plus 2x3. We have only 2x3 plus 2x3, so that will be 4x3, right. And if you observe here, whatever the inputs that we are giving to this node h21, the same inputs we are giving with the same weights. So that your h22 will also be same as 6x1 plus 4x2 plus 4x3. Right. Now this h21 output, that means this one, and this h22 output, that means this one, are given to the output node with the weights 3 and 3. So what will be the corresponding output? The final output would be 3 times 6x1 plus 4x2 plus 4x3 plus, again because the weight is also 3 in the next case, so 3 multiplied with the same function 6x1 plus 4x2 plus 4x3. So this would be equals to 18 plus 18. So your output would be 36x1 plus 24x2 plus 24x2, right? So this will be the output of your given first network. In the problem, in the second figure, it is given that the corresponding weights are P, Q, R. So if you observe this one, this becomes 36 becomes the value of P, 24 becomes the value of Q, and this next 24 will become the value of R. So 36, 24 and 24 will be the values of P, Q and R respectively if these x1, x1, x3, x1, x2, x3 and these x1, x2, x3 are same. So this is a question from neural networks. So as a whole, the paper is, the questions asked are simple, but the only thing is you need a little practice. And one more thing, there is one more question which is on calculating the information gain, but the question is a very lengthy question. That's why here I am unable to explain that question. Okay, thank you very much.